We're in our we're actually starting our third week of practice, and practice has been going really well. First week was a little slow, learning what we needed defensively and offensively, and this past week, we saw some big improvements on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. We're still playing the same type of basketball where we're trying to play in the full court, and some of the younger kids are getting accustomed to it. But so far it's been a good experience for everyone. Going into the season, we have exhibitions set up on October 31st and November 1st to kind of get us ready for that November 10th date, which could lead us into playing 4 SEC opponents. If we play UNO on the 10th, if we would win, a scenario could be either Houston or Texas A&M, and that would go into playing Mississippi State on November 27th, if I'm not mistaken, and then moving into Auburn at home, which would be another SEC opponent, and then LSU on the 17th of December. So there's a possibility that we could play 4 SEC opponents. So it makes it a pretty tough schedule for us, but we want to prepare for conference like always. I have 4 seniors that we feel that are going to be big impacts for us, as Nakia Jones, Simone Fields, Troy Swain, and Kendra Howard. All 4 of them have been really doing well, and we feel that they can be a big part of us trying to make it back to the championship. Also have a couple of freshmen that have been doing really well, and Skylar Goodwin and Ty Doucette. We really feel that they can bring something to our team, as well as a couple of sophomores and Kim Burton and Brittany Miles. Any questions?
Coach, how about Danielle Bayonne? A lot of people were excited about her, and then she got hurt. Where is she right now?
She's really been practicing hard. You can tell that she's a little bit behind as far as for basketball. Some of the things she's doing. She looks very healthy though. But yes, I think she can bring a big part of it. I think it's just going to take her a little bit of time, to get into the game speed, into the game mode. But yeah, she could be. Last year, in those exhibition games, she really looked well, really good, and she can score, and she's a hard-nosed kid. So yeah, we can expect a lot of things of her. I just think it's going to be a process for her. It might take a few games for her to get more comfortable. But then again, I'm trying to remember from last year, more of a gamer. She kind of did the same thing in practice, and once we started playing, she started becoming really productive. So yeah, we're looking for some good things in her.
Last year, Jasmine did way better than most freshmen do. I know you're excited about this freshman class, but are you seeing that any of them had those same little characteristics and competitiveness that she had to make such a big impact as a true freshman?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Skylar Goodwin is, I'll tell you what, she was good. I didn't really think she was as good as what we're seeing right now. We're using her at the point guard position. We didn't really recruit her for a point guard, and she's doing a great job. She can play multitude of positions. She can score. She's very confident in herself. And the good thing about it is when you find a scorer like her, most of the time they can't defend. She can defend. So we're excited, and rebound. She's kind of, for us, a bigger guard at about 5'9", 5'10". So she's one that really, really sticks out in my mind. The first 2 weeks she's really had some good practices.
Or any of them kind of, sound like you've got a lot of players that could potentially contribute. How many of them are going to be able to be on the same court, coexisting, like Jasmine and her and some of these?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out right now is that, Jazz is going to be out for a little while because of her knee. She had it scoped again. So now we're in a situation where we had a player that had a great summer with some experience at the point guard position that's going to have to be sitting for a little bit. So that opens up the opportunities for some of the younger kids. And, Troy Swain, being a senior, we're trying to put her in that position, along with Kendra Howard. And Skylar Goodwin's been put in that position, and she looks really, really good until we can get Jasmine back. So it's going to be a shuffling and trying to figure out what who's going to play well together. Simone Fields, we know what she's going to do from the post area. She's really having a good preseason practice and stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be, as far as for the guard position, we're still trying to figure that out. And I think it's going to take us some time to figure out who can manage the offense for us and kind of hold it down while Jasmine's out.
Samoa last year, almost like she snuck up on some people in the league, maybe didn't realize. She's not going to be able to do that this year. How has she sort of elevated things?
Well, I tell you, she's so strong, and she's unorthodox in the way she scores from the inside. Been seeing many kids. Most kids are, power dribble or drop step. Not her. She's got like a step back, and she can step back and step through. It's different. I haven't, in my career, really coached it like that, and we just kind of let her go. But she's a very high percentage from inside the lane too, which is hard to find. She at one point last year and the year before, she was shooting over 70% from inside. So that that helps a lot. So yeah, they'll double up, but I think one of the things that she's improved on is her passing. Nakia Jones has helped her with that. They play really well together, and they both have improved. Nakia can pass, but Simone's improved on her passing. So I think that's going to help when she does get doubled up to try to get some scoring for someone else.
You may have answered this already, but just especially starting the season, who are some of the leaders that you're kind of leaning on to lead the way early?
Well, there's no doubt, the seniors, it's Troy Swain and Nakia Jones, along with Simone Fields. And, Kendra Howard, this will be her first year to play. A lot of people don't know a lot about her. She came out of junior college and then didn't finish the hours she needed, so she paid her own way and came her junior year and sat out. And now she's ready to play, and she's a scoring machine. Now can we get her acclimated in the type of system we have, because she's very athletic, and so she could bring some really good things to us. And, it's like Kevin said, Danielle Barham is really good player, coming to hurt, so she, it might take her a little while, but then you got those two freshmen in Scott and Ty, Skylar Goodwin and Ty Doucette. They're both very, very good players. Skylar's averaged almost 30 points a game in high school, and she can play on the defensive side. Now we're running her a little bit at the point, which is kind of out of her element. But man, it looked, I tell you what, by doing that this past week, it made us look so much better. And then, Ty Doucette can just score. It's something that we have a hard time finding is post players that can finish around the goal, and she can. Now she's got to get stronger and got a lot of work to do on inside and out. But I think she can bring a lot to it for us.
And with someone as athletic and as much of a scorer as Howard is coming in as the transfer, obviously she's been there in practice, but getting her acclimated in games, how important are those early preseason before Sunbelt games to get that chemistry and kinks worked out?
Yeah, I think it is. We don't do scrimmages. A lot of people like to do scrimmages. I like to do the exhibition because it's more like a game, and you do it mostly for the freshmen because you put them under the lights. We always say, you add 3 referees, a scoreboard, and some fans, and it changes every aspect. So that's what we try to do. We do our 2 exhibitions, and hopefully we get, some of the kinks out, and then we get into the preseason play. And I'm going to tell you what, playing those 4 SEC teams are going to get us ready or not. It's like, hey, you're going to have to show up. And so these freshmen, what I love about our team is, like, it doesn't make a difference how good the other team is. We're going to play hard and we're going to do what we do best. A lot of what we do, 90% is what we do and 10% is what they do. And so our kids take that attitude. So it's going to be great. I think it's good for them to be ready, because at the end of the day, you get in the end of December, it's all about conference.
Just even as a follow-up to something you said, some teams would like to just pile up wins in the preseason, but what does going against SEC opponents and tough opponents do to prepare you for somebody?
I think each year is so different. When we first got in, we kind of stayed away from because we were trying to develop a winning attitude, and now we know that we're a lot better team. So now we have to go against better opponents, and it makes it tougher. It's like we try to make our practices tougher than games, but some of our practices are going to be tough, but some of these games will be really, really tough for us. We'll see different styles of play that we're not maybe used to, and I try to prepare ourselves for playing the Little Rocks and the Troys and all those, the way they play. So if you look at Mississippi State, man, they just like Troy. I mean, they're getting up and down, and they can press, they can score. So here we go at a high level, you know. So you look at those things, you know, you just don't want to play anybody in the SEC. You want to try to play the ones that, you know, Auburn is very athletic, and they play differently. They play fast. So that's what we try to do, is try to match up with those opponents. And I think it'll help us to get ready. You know, I think our main thing for this year is going to be to stay healthy. And I know a lot of coaches say that, but, you know, our numbers are a little bit down. And so we got to get everybody to, you know, if we can stay healthy, we can make a little run. And at the end of the season, see where, you know, wherever the chips fall.
And this is my last question. As you said, this program, obviously, since when you got here to now, has elevated this level. Do you see a change of intensity, or just, I don't know, a look in the girls' eyes from when you first got here to now? And how proud are you of that, I guess, to see that progression?
Yeah, there's no doubt when we came in, you know, it was a little different, but now it's just expected. You know, it's like, I think our seniors have control of that. You know, they expect for us to go hard all the time. So, I mean, we do. You know, our expectations are high every day. You know, we say win every possession, win every day. You know, don't take off days. And can we? And the main thing that I see is I see girls on our team getting in the gym after practice, before practice. So those things are starting to change. You know, you get a little bit hungrier. You know, when I got in here, I was really hungry, you know, and we wanted to win. And those kids are following that. You know, if you give them a good model and you give them, you know, my assistants are just phenomenal in what they do and how hard they work. And so that's great role models for our young kids to say, okay, so if they're going to do it, you know, we're going to do it. And that's where we're at. Seniors are doing a great job. And, you know, we don't have but one junior. So, you know, you're looking at the senior leadership to make sure that they lead us in the right way. And I think we're starting to see that. I mean, I know we're starting to see it. It made it a lot easier on me. But at the same time, we can't take time off. We've got to continue to get better.
You talk about models. Who's your Kia? Who's your Jody Quinn? Who's your...
You know, I think it's different. You know, Simone Fields won't say much, but she just comes in like right now and very focused and move out the way. And she's like very businesslike. Where Nakia Jones thinks she's Gino or Emma. You know, she comes in and she can coach because she knows the game better than the game, which is awesome for me. And she speaks it. You know, she speaks it. She's very vocal, very, very vocal, whether it's good or bad. And I mean, I like it. You know, it helps us. You know, and Troy Swain's like that. She's a little bit more businesslike, but you have three seniors right there. And if we could ever get Kendra Howard to buy into that too, we could be really something special for the leadership. But, you know, I would say Nakia Jones and Simone Fields and Troy Swain are doing that, you know. And, you know, Jasmine Thomas is, even though she's not in practice right now, she has that leadership quality. And in the right way, she knows how to speak to people and make them feel that, hey, they need to do more.
How do you feel about the conference this year from top to bottom?
I think it's going to be, you know, basic, just like it was last year. You know, you're going to have your Little Rocks and Troy, and I think UTA is going to be really good, you know, and I feel that we're right in the mix of them, you know. You know, when we first got in here, it was always, you know, Little Rock, you know, you Arkansas State, you had a hard time beating them, especially on the road. But now I feel that, you know, it's kind of open. You know, it's going to be, you know, who prepares the best. I mean, most of the teams are look to me pretty equal. You know, it's going to be a matter of matchups again, and who stays healthy, and you know who's ready at the end of the season. But you know, it looks basic to me. You know, your Little Rock's going to defend you, and you know, Troy's going to score a million a game. You know, so you got all the same type of teams. It's going to be who can put it together at the right time.